Good morning and welcome. And what we're going to do today, we're going to have a better look at this radio belonging to Andy, and we'll first find something to very carefully store the valves so they don't get damaged. I think this will do. There we go. Yeah. This will do. This will do, I think. Right. So, pull the valves out. Not very tight fitting them valves. I know which way they all go, so it doesn't really matter. Now, let's pull. They're not very tight fitting them valves. Pull this cap off that. You've got to be careful the tops don't come off these when you're taking them off and all. And lift this one out. Oh, it's just let's move that a minute. That's it. There we go. So that one's been glued. Well, I actually had wire put around that one. It's rattling inside that as well. Yeah, I don't hold much hope for that. I don't hold much hope for that, to be perfectly honest. Put them out of the way. Right. Now, let's turn it round, because we need to get the knobs off. Oh God, it weighs a bit, this. Right. The nice thing is that knob pulls out, so you can get a screwdriver in there easy. Yeah. Right. The only problem I have here is finding the screwdriver I need, and I don't think that one will fit. There's one. That's the one I normally use. So let's try. See if it will come out. I think these. There we go. Yeah. Put the knobs there for a minute. Turn the on off and volume control knob, and because of that there, I might not be able to get a screwdriver, I might have to go that way. There we are. There we go. Somebody put some tape or something in there. Yeah. Something was put in there, doesn't matter, we got them off. Now let's have a look at how the chassis comes out. Oh God, man, this thing weighs a ton. Jesus. I tell you what, they were well made. Let's have a look underneath. Oh, try not to hit me cameras. There we are, chassis screws. That sound reminds me of my mate Warby's wallet. Well, those chassis screws are long. The chassis, well, yeah, we call them screws because they're not bolts, are they? They haven't got bolt heads on them. Long, thick machine screws, aren't they, really? But we get this chassis out of the radio, out of the case. There we go. And then we can put, see, that one wasn't even tight. Someone's been at this. Let's get them washers out. There we are. I mean, although that was tight in there, that washer, if I'd have left it at some point it would have fell out. Yeah, but somebody's been in this, I don't care what people say. Someone's been at this because the screws are not even tight. These chassis fixings are loose. We've got all the valves out. I don't hold much hope for them though, especially that one that rattles. So I think we might be looking for more valves. Might even be looking for a full set for this. And I think this has been codged up just to sell it. Which is common practice amongst people to no, don't lift that by that. Right. Gee. There we go. Right, what have we got connected there? A bloody ground wire. Right, well, we'll deal with that. Where's the clippers? I won't get in there with the soldering iron. So we'll just clip that because we can reconnect it when the chassis goes back in. That's not a problem. But there we are. Oh, there's not one at the other side because there's no way I'm going to get my hand down there. Right, let's lift the chassis out. Now we can push that a bit further forward. There we go. Now I'll tell you what, folks, the cabinet's no lightweight. And what the hell's all that lot that's just fell off? Oh, what the hell's happened to my camera there? Why is every time I turn this camera off, this other camera, why is every time I turn it off it goes into demo mode? Every time I turn it off and then turn it back on, it goes into demo mode. The other camera, and I want to use that as well, so let me just turn this viewfinder around and see if I can right. I'm going to have to bring this down. I can't do that up there. Can't friggin' see it. Right. Give me a minute, folks. Just go in and turn this daft demo mode off. General set. Demo mode on, demo mode off. I think what it is, well, I don't know what it is, but that's off now anyway. Demo mode off. There we go, home. Right, now stick this back on the, stick this back where it lives. There we go. Oh, let's see where we are. I'm hoping at some point it's going to decide to focus. That's that one. There we are. There we go. Right. Just get this level, get this level where we want it. Right. And that's too far. Let's see. And that'll do it, won't it? Will that do it? Yeah, we can see pretty much all the chassis there now, can't we? So let's put the chassis screws and the main screws. Let's put them in with these idlers. I know where they are then. Put them in with these idlers for now. Then I know we won't lose anything. Put the knobs with them as well. Right, so this is the, as I said yesterday, this is the Phillips 830A from 1932. I have confirmed the date. This is not wartime, this is before the war. This is 1932 according to, right, so let's turn this round. Whoops, there we go. Right, and we've got a nice big bulb in there, plenty of dead spidders. We've got our usual dead arachnids or whatever you call them, spiders. Right, this is your capacitor can here. This big dirty big can here, that's got your most of your capacitors in. Let's have a look under the chassis. Let's see what we've got under there. And I'm gonna have to turn it round so that you can see, because I'll put you on the, what do you call it, view in a minute. I'll put you on the other camera. There we are. Now let's change cameras. Let's get me. Why have I got two pairs of glasses in here? Do you know, sometimes I even amaze myself. Right. There's the other camera. Right. So I'll lift this up. Oh, there's plenty of dead arachnids in here, that's for sure. Right, so, oops, let's support. Right, that's your under chassis view. It's the best I can give you. I'll tell you what, plenty of dead spiders in here, but I bet there's one still alive somewhere who'll creep out. That's your tuner there, and your wave switch. What I want to look at, there's a control at the back. It turns, but it also pulls out as well and pushes in. And I'm not sure what that's for. Whoops. So what we'll do, we'll have a look. Let's see what that control actually does. I think it's that there. Oh, do you know what it is? Do you know what that is? That's actually the tuner. It's actually the tuner and waveband. That's what that is. Right, well somebody's... Right, well we've got plenty of dead goddamn spiders in it. Jesus. This needs a bit of an hoover out, to be honest. It's full of dead spiders. They're all dead by the look of that. But somebody's worked on this. It's got some fairly modern bits in it. 60s bits by the look of it. So somebody's worked on this. I wonder if that capacitor, I'm going to have to look at the circuit. I mean, that's obvious. But I'm wondering, that on off switch? It's actually a toggle switch. So we're going to have to, let's go back to the other camera. You can't really see a lot there, can you? Oh, I've not got the chat on. Let me just swap cameras and then I'll go and turn the chat on. There we go. Let me just put the chat on. I forgot to bring the chat up, but I haven't got a clue what anybody's saying, if anybody's there. So there we go, chat. Good morning, Harvey. I hope you're well, my friend. Hope you're well and in fine feckle. Yeah, this thing's got plenty of dead arachnids in it. It'll have to be hoovered out. And as regards this capacitor box, I've got the feeling it might even be empty. Either that or the capacitor. I'm going to undo that and see, because it, oh no, I can see it there. I'm going to undo that and see how it comes out, because it's here and we might as well, eh folks? I mean, this is actually there we go. Right, can we all see everything there? Would we be better on the other camera? Let me have a look. I can't see because of the chat, so I'll have to change it. Yeah, we're better on. Yeah, we're better on this camera because we can see what I'm doing. Put the old glasses back on. There we go. Let's take this out, and this should. This should come out. I mean, this is You look at that round main transformer. That's the actual mains transformer. Surprising, isn't it? I mean, it'll all have to be checked, I mean, because I'll have to check all the wires and everything, because a Gmail notification. Let's just check that because I've just paid a bill, so get off. Your latest bill is ready. Is that really? Oh, hang on. No. Oh, it's just eBay. I was gonna say I've just paid the frigging bill. Next one can't be ready yet. That's an old email. Now this here. There we go. Look at that. Somebody's clipped that out. Somebody's clipped that out and left it in for appearances. As you've just seen me lift that clear. So somebody's actually recapped this. And I would have liked to put the capacitors. Oh, it's another goddamn spider now. Fuck's sake! My straw's come off my switch cleaner now. God knows where that's gone. Be down here somewhere, it'll turn up. It's a good job I don't really need it yet, isn't it? Anyway. Yeah, so somebody's actually, this has actually been out. Go on, it's too early. Right, so somebody's actually clipped this and clipped it out. And I don't know how you would get into that if you wanted to anyway. So that's been left on there for appearances. So that's just been left there for appearances. So even back in the day, they were keen on originality, if you want to call it that. That's your off switch there, you can see the contacts. This thing's lethal. I'll tell you what, stuff like this I'd never get through regulations today. That's for sure. So let's lift this up and have a look at under the chassis. Yeah, all these Hunt's capacitors, they've all been replaced. Somebody's done a lot of work on this. On all this lot here, there's a modern transformer there, so somebody's put that in. Yeah, because someone's put a modern transformer in, that's not the original. Someone's put that in, I think. That modern looking transformer. It could be a modern transformer, it looks like it. But that's the, yeah, that's going to the audio pentode here. The audio output here is going to that. And then you've got your speaker. There's a lot of work to do in this. This has got a lot of work. I'll have to test all those capacitors. Have to go through this, especially this end here, where the power supply. That's a modern. That 0.0022. That's a 70s or late 60s cap. These electrolytics, well, these are actually non-polarized electrolytics that are in this. I'm going to have to look Yeah, these are all non-polarised. So the filter must be non-polarised. So why have they used non-polarised? Was it this is actually, this is a weird setup. I've not seen anything. If I can turn it round, might be able to get it on camera and show you. There we go. That big capacitor went there, where my hand is, went through that hole there, and everything from that has been replaced. All this here, all let me see if I can come down. All this here, all these capacitors here, there, well, that's better. See, all this here, it's all new. I'm trying to get you into position. There we go. There. All this stuff here and this stuff here, a lot of it's been replaced. Because I don't know whether they had mustard caps back then, but there's a few of them knocking about in here. 1932. I'm going to have to look at the circuit and go through this, and also check the mains transformer is okay. It's gonna be a lot of work on this, I think. But yeah, that's been left in for originality reasons. Let's move this back, and what we'll do, we'll get the capacitor tester, put the glasses back on, we'll get the cap tester, see if it tells us any of the values that they should be. Yeah, it's got the date on this, 28th of November 1932. I could zoom in, but I think it's just as easy to do that. Yeah. So this has got to stay with it. That dates it, doesn't it? That dates the radio, so it is 1932. So Andy was right. So Andy was right. It is 1932. I told him it wasn't. Told him I thought it was later. Let's just test these capacitors, because the ground is going to be here, and we should be able to test every other one of them. We won't use the ESR tester, because I think I think these are non-polarised. They look non-polarised on the circuit, to be honest, because I had a brief look at it last night. But it's been butchered anyway. It's been worked on. So what we'll do, we'll start off with, we'll put on the 200 microfarad setting, and what we'll do, right, 0.01, that one's short, open, sorry, that one's open. Yeah, so that's ground. Zero 0.005. That's 05. That's open. Yeah. That's 0.14, and that's 0.26, and these ones, that's open. It's just, yeah, it's open. That's 0.9, and that's ground. So these I don't think these are actually smoothers. I need to have a look in the circuit. I will actually print the manual off later and see where we end up. But to be perfectly honest with you, I need to look at what the values are in that can and see what they've been replaced with. Probably the right ones, but it was done. It was recapped. My guess, it was probably recapped in the 60s. It was probably recapped in the 60s because it's got. But I've not seen any electrolytics in it yet, and I've looked at the circuit and I've not seen. There's got to be. I mean, you know, polarised electrolytics. There's got to be, but I've not seen any. If you'll just indulge me a minute, I'll go and have a quick look at the manual. If you just give me a minute, I'll have a quick look at the manual. I'll move the cabinet a bit. Right. Yeah, happy birthday to your mum in advance, Harvey. Right. I'm going to minimise this for a minute because I need to look at the manual. Let's bring the manual up. I will print the manual off for easier use on the bench. But for now, I'm just going to look at it on the screen. Right. Philips 830A superinductive AC receiver. The manual was printed in 1942, but the radio does date to 1932. Out! You're not getting fed yet, it's too early. Bog off, and that doesn't mean buy one get one free. Go on. Right, so let's have a look at the power supply, because I want to see where I want to look at, according to this, C16 and C17. Out! C16 and C17 are actually in that can. But what's the values of them? That's the thing. So let's go to the parts list and see what the value of C17 and C16 is. There we are, here's the capacitors. C16 is HT smoothing condenser. They called them condensers back then, probably because they couldn't say the word capacitor, but they called them condensers back then. But that, you know, anyway, let's get back to the job in hand. Right, C16 is HT smoothing, and the value is HT, 16 and 17 are HT smoothing capacitors, and they are 2.6, 2.5, I think, I can read that, and 3.0. Now they are low for that, aren't they? They're low for that. I mean, they're low values. I mean, yeah, they're low values for that particular, you know. You got to remember though, this thing was made in 1932, and the radio had only been invented a few years early, so, you know, this was still in the early stages of, you know, I'm just looking, yeah, hang on. Bloody hell, I hate sneezing. You end up with Yeah, look, snot everywhere. Oh, there we go, just wipe my nose. Right, so let's see what it's telling us. V5, right. HT current is supplied by full wave rectifying valve V5. Phillips 1821. 1821 in other words. Smoothing by iron core choke L8 in negative HT lead to chassis and condensers C16 and C17, and C16 and C17 are in that metal can. That's what they are, the two. If we go back to the camera, I can show you where they are in relation. So this is going to be a bit of a project. It's not going to be something that can be done overnight because of the messing about that's already been had to it. Right, so if I can just try to zoom you in a little bit. Right, isn't that great, folks? Right, C17 and C16 are these two here. Now let's go back to our meter, our capacitor meter, and see what our capacitor meter tells us. I wonder if you can do picture in picture with this software. I think you can, but I've not worked out how to do it yet, because I would like to. I am going to set up another camera situation, so we'll set that to 2UF, because now we know the low value. We'll go anywhere, we can go anywhere for ground. Go there for ground, and that's 1.3, and that one is, open, short, sorry, but let me just check it. Let's go to 20, there, go upper range. No, it ain't. Yeah, it is. It is, that one's knackered. Yeah, we're getting a reading from it, but yeah, it was obviously changed because it was knackered. Yeah, 2.61. Let's go drop the range. Yeah. Yep. So the reason why this was the reason why this was disconnected is because all these will be fucked. All these will be knackered. So, but I wonder how you get in, because I'd like to be able to reinstate that. How many capacitors were in it? 7. There was 7 capacitors in it, so I've got to look at the chassis and I've got to work out where all these were connected in order so that I can replace, because I'm not going to blanket replace everything to begin with. I'm not going to do that, because that's not the way to do it. You know, you don't blanket replace things because you might put stuff in that doesn't need to be put in. And let's turn the capacitor meter off, and we'll test all the capacitors that are in there, and you know, we're going to replace anything that's iffy. Anything that's not right we will do, obviously, because we do things properly here. Yeah, my neighbours, fucking noisy bastards. Yeah. Right, so what we need to do now, we need to have a look, let's zoom back out. Yeah, Universal Credit have sent me, they would do. Do I really? Fuck off. Right. So what I want to look, see where that choke is, which is this, which I presume is full of dead frigging spiders. This cobwebs, this thing. Right, the choke. Right, the transformer I think is going to be here, and the choke is going to be this one here. That's what I'm thinking. Right, you can just see the transformer there. That's, oh sorry, the choke, I think that is. I think that's the smoothing choke. I say it is. I mean, the wiring looks okay, which is a plus. The wiring looks alright. There's another one of those capacitor cans down there, and I wonder if that's been chopped out. It looks like it might have been. Yeah. Oh no, it's still, no, some of them have. So some of them have been chopped out and some of them are still in. It's a lot of work in this. It's a lot of work. Right, well what we're going to need to do really is, I don't think that this has got any polarised electrolytics at all. I think it's all, I need to look at that can there, see what they are. I mean, some of them have been replaced, you can see where they've been disconnected and not connected to anything. And somebody's stuffed the replacement capacitors. I'll tell you what, to get them down there, they must have done a lot of work. They'll have to have taken this cross member here off. This one here would have been taken off to get in to do all this. But it's a lot of work this to do. This is a lot of work. Who's on the chat? Let's have a look. I'll come over in a minute. I'm just looking at this down here. That's the rectifier valve socket, I think. No, it ain't. That's one of the RF valves. Rectifiers over this side. You silly man. Rectifiers over this side. It's doubt it goes in that hole there, the rectifier. We've got another capacitor there that's been clipped. I mean this has already been done by somebody. It's been done okay. You know, whoever did it did do it okay. But so it's, you know, it's not like a cod job or anything. It's not been bodged up. It's but my worry is getting down into there, because we've got some. I'm just trying to look. No, I think that's still connected. One or two of them have been disconnected. Yeah. I don't think we can see into it. See if I can get you on the angle. No, I can't. But what about the other camera? Let's go back to the other camera. Let's go back to the other camera. Bloody hell, I hate buttons on the side of mice. There we are. Now let's try and zoom in a bit. Right. Now, basically, need to come down with the let's bring this wrong way. That'll do. Now, can I see what I want to look at now? Yeah, just about. Right, down here there's another one. Just down here there's another one of those capacitor blocks. So we need to look at getting that out. So we can test it, because some of the capacitors that are in it are still connected. So I need to look at that, and it doesn't show you that one in the manual. It doesn't seem to show you that one unless I've missed it. But yeah, this is your tuning arrangement all here. We don't have to worry about any of that at the moment. And there's a bare wire coming up here and down onto what looks like a valve pin. This valve here. These switches here all need cleaning. We've got what looks like a mica capacitor there. But some of these in that capacitor block have been replaced. And I think that's a fuse there. I could be wrong. Yeah, I am wrong. It's a resistor. Fuse. Yeah. Look like a fuse. I mean, components back then. This is a bit foreign to me. I've never seen anything this old. Never seen anything this old. This is as old as I've ever seen. We've also, so I'm going to have to make a note. I'm going to have to look at the manual and see what's in that capacitor block, because I don't want to cause any damage. Let's just stand it up, put it back the right way up. There we go. Right, so basically what we're going to have to do is I'm probably going to have to take this transformer off, or take this off to get under there to that block, that other capacitor block, because you can't do it from the bottom. It's there, which means it's going to be under these transformers. It's not under this mains transformer. This is either your transformer or your choke. I'll have to look. I think this is your transformer. Yeah, this is your transformer, because it goes down into your choke, which is here, then off to your rectifier, which is here, believe it or not. Well, the rectifier's here, well, it's supposed to be. on the other side of you. It's just swap cameras. Right, your rectifier's here. Because this will be your rectifier. Where my finger is. That's your rectifier there. This one here will be your audio output. That'll probably be first audio because it does have a first audio, and the other two are for your RF. Deal with your mixer, oscillator, that kind of sort of thing. Let's see what everyone's saying on the chat, shall we? And see where we go from there. Yeah, this is gonna be yeah, it's gonna be a while. Right, let's see what we've got. Hey, let's go back up to the top. I know Steve's there. Good morning, Steve. I'm not sure, Steve. I'll have a look in a bit, but to be perfectly honest with you, I'm not confident of switching this on with a rectifier in it. At this point, I'm going to have to do a lot of checks, and it's going to have to be gone through thoroughly because somebody's been there before me. So I mean, yeah, somebody's after a wheelchair apparently. Apparently someone's neighbours broke their leg or something. I'm gonna unsubscribe from some of these things. Oh, you go and have a kip, Harvey. Don't worry, mate, no worries. I'm just going back up to the top of the chat because there's a lot here I will have missed. Steve's saying good morning, Steve. Yeah, it's a nice set. At least it would be if it was working. Would be if it was working. But yeah, somebody's been there. It's been. I won't say it's been butchered. It hasn't. It's been worked on. And I want to have a look at the manual again. I'm going to disappear. Well, I'm not going to disappear. This page is going to disappear for a minute because I want to look at the manual and I want to see. Where that other capacitor block is. It doesn't seem to show you. Only shows you the one. But that being said, I'll be able to go through the circuit and trace it. Circuit diagram of the Phillips, blah blah, the coupling between aerial sockets. Yeah, the connections of the larger condenser block as seen in the under chassis view, where the dotted portion. Alright, bloody hell. Yeah, these are all, what do you call it in this? I'm going to ring Steve in a minute. I'm going to end the video in a minute. Right! Out! It's too early, you're not being fed yet. Jesus, man. Go on! I don't like shouting at him, but he gets to you. Right. it doesn't tell you what the rated voltages are for that capacitor. I mean, this isn't really high voltages stuff as such. I mean, it's got 240 going in, but if I look on the circuit, I think it tells me. I've seen somewhere, voltage related somewhere. AC mains. I've seen something related to it somewhere. Some voltage. Oh, it was on the valves. Here we are. Other components. L8 is a smoothing choke. See, it's what's that? What? Let's see what L2, L1 and L2. No, that's not the mains transformer. What I thought. That's that big round thing on the top is not a mains transformer. It's an RF or a IF transformer. Just looked at it now. And then you've got your capacitor block there. Now if we have a look at the underside of the chassis, there's the underside. T3, is that the mains transformer? T3. Yeah, T3 is the mains transformer, folks. Now we're getting somewhere. So what I thought was a mains transformer on the top is not. They've just put a choke. They've just put an IF transformer or whatever it is on the top there. I'm not familiar with these radios from this period. They're not really my idea, not my bag really. But we'll get there. You've got to learn. And yeah, I was looking at valve voltages here. Let's have a look at the voltages on the rectifier. The voltages on the rectifier, the anode voltage should be either 160 or 175. I don't think you could make their mind up. I think it depends on what voltage is going in. But hang on, there's two anodes because there's two anodes. One's 160 and one's 175. The reason why is it's a full wave rectifier needed. So there'll be two anodes, won't they? Obviously. You stupid man. Valve 4, I think is the audio output. That's 175 and 176 on the anodes. I mean, there's nothing above 200 volts. There's nothing above here. There's nothing here above 175 volts. So, compared to the stuff I work on, this is fairly low voltage. This is baby volts really. And then what I wanted to look at here, we've actually got a gramophone pickup socket, and that's what I'm interested in as well. Two sockets are provided at the rear of the chassis for gramophone pickup, but an external volume control would be required for it, as the GB potential is applied. Grid bias potential is applied via the pickup circuit. There should be a DC continuity. There should be DC continuity between the pickup sockets and during pickup operation. Yeah, so there we go. You see, so it has to have an external volume control for the pickup. Otherwise, I would imagine it would just come on full blast. It's not controlled by the main volume control on the front of the radio. Really well thought out, the early radios, weren't they? I mean, you know, they were really well thought out. But then again, it was the early days, wasn't it? You can't knock them really. And there's your voltage adjustment panel, which is under there. Yeah, that's your voltage adjustment. And there's that other capacitor there. I'll need to really magnify this to be able to read it. But that's that other. And there's a. And there's another there's another. Yeah. Yeah, and there's that other condenser block there, the one we've taken out. And we've got C16 there. It's just, no, it's not. It can't be. Oh, that's the tuner. The tuner can't be C16. C15, I think. But anyway, we'll get around it. I'll have a chat with Steve in a bit and see what he thinks. I mean, what's Steve saying there? They were then they used their mains to magnetize the speaker and help with smoothing. Well, this has not got the original speaker in it then, Steve, because there's only 2 wires going up to the speaker. There's only 2 wires going up to the speaker. I don't think it's got the original speaker in it, to be perfectly honest. Anyway, what I'm going to do, I'm going to end it here. And what's burning smokeless stuff got to do with electronics? You know, if all you do when I come on is just want to chat about stuff that's not related, not being funny, but go elsewhere, or get each other's phone numbers and ring each other, instead of using my channel to frigging chat with each other about unrelated topics. I feel a few more blockings coming on here. Anyway, anyway, folks, I'm going to end it here. If you want to talk about unrelated things, get each other's phone numbers. This is supposed to be electronics, not talking about burning smokeless rubbish or asking people do they have an open fire or all like that. There's no relevance to it. I have to tell you again, I'll be doing some blockings and I mean it because I'm getting fed up of it. Anyway, like I say, you know, give each other your phone numbers. Instead of using my channel to chat on, you're supposed to be chatting to me about electronics or chatting to each other about electronics that I can deal with. But all the other crap you talk about, open fires and stuff, I don't want to know about that. Doesn't interest me. Yeah, exactly, Harvey. It's supposed to be about electronics. That's the idea of the channel. And if people can't do that, then I'll just start blocking people. I'll just won't allow you to chat. It's as simple as that, because I don't mind either way. Oh, it's cold, yeah. You know, yeah, it is cold. It's very cold. You know, but what we normally do, we normally turn our heating on. Well, I don't, because I'm too tight to pay for it, but what we normally do. Can we see the schematic? You can. You can, Andy Mouse. I'll print it out later because I've got to find some paper to feed the printer, and I can't. Oh, hang on a minute. Can I do it? Let me just have a mess about with this. Scraps. Right, can I do it? I'm wondering if I can. I probably can't do it now because it means I've got to go into the settings. But I think I can do. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'm going to disappear now and I'll come back. You know, I'm going to disappear now, folks, and I'm going to come back. I'll come back a bit later and I'll have a play about with this software and I'll see if I can screen capture the schematic, and I'll be able to put it up on the screen then and you can all have a look at it. So, you know, I'll be able to deal with that. I'm pretty sure I'll be able to suss out how to do that. And I can put it on as a picture instead of one of the cameras. So something like them pictures I put on the other week, like this one. If we go here and then go something like that, only the schematic. That's what we could do, and just replace one of the, because you can only have. I mean, this program I'm using, it's capable of a lot of things, and I haven't even scratched the surface yet. I'm still learning about it, and so far I've only figured out the stuff I want to personally use, but I need to have a really, really good delve. So I'm going to do that this afternoon, and when I come back on this evening, then what I'll do, I should have worked out how to capture the schematic so that we could all have a look at the circuit on the screen. That was a good idea there from, I think it was Andy Mouse, was it, who said yes? Yes, that was a good idea. We'll have a play with that later. Right. Well, to be honest, is it a good clear schematic? Let me just have a look. Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, I'd say it's clear enough. What I'll have to do, what I might have to do is, I might have to change the format so that I can convert it to something that we can look at. But yeah, I'll have a play with that, folks. What I'll do, guys, I'll have a play with that this afternoon after I've got lunch and out of the way and I've sorted scraps out and stuff and everything's done that needs to be done, and then we can, you know, we can all have a look at the schematic, and we can all, you know, have a chat about it and stuff and see where we end up. But yeah, there's no electrolytic. Well, there's no. Should I rephrase and say there's no polarized electrolytics in this? They're all non-polarized from what I can see, and according to the circuit, that seems to be the case, and they're all fairly low value as well, because most of the smoothing's done by a choke. But anyway, we'll get back to it later, folks. You all enjoy your lunches and take it easy, and I'll catch you in a bit. And if you haven't subscribed and you want to, then go for it. If you want to be warned of if you want to be notified, click the bell. And I will catch you in a couple of hours. I'm gonna, well, say a couple, probably more like a few. Probably be after tea when I come back on. I'll get tea and stuff out of the way. Probably be later, about 8 o'clock or something. 7 or 8 o'clock when I come back on. But I'm gonna have a play about and see if I can figure out this program. There is a tutorial on this program, on this software I'm using, so I'm going to watch that and see if the guy who does it is very thorough. So I'm hoping at some point he mentions that, and we can come back later and hopefully I'll have a look at the schematic. I'll catch you later, folks. Bye for now. I should play God Save the Queen at the end, shouldn't I? Bye for now, folks.